Man, what's going on YouTube, man? Today is Monday, bright and not too early. It's about noontime. I just want to go ahead and get to the point here. I had started listing 7 principles, 7 cures of that a person should need in order to obtain wealth. And with the time that I have now, I'm kind of busy during the holidays. You know, I spread it out, and I was like, I can't get back to it. So I decided to let me shorten it up and give it to you guys all at once. Let me adjust this camera real quick. I can give it to you guys all at once. First cure, we know, is to start thy purse to fattening, which means, hey, start making more money. That's it. If you got a job right now, you're already ahead. Good job. Okay? Second step we're going to get into is, turn that page real quick. Control thy expenditures. Self-explanatory. Me, I don't use credit cards. If I can't afford it, I don't get it. It's just a way I live life. It's more simpler that way. You don't get into any trouble that way. And for those of you who have credit card and have things that they're paying for right now, you know what I mean. It's a headache. You don't have freedom when you have debt. Point blank. All right? Now, third one. Make thy gold multiply. What that basically means is invest. Some of you guys are putting, like, you know, small percentages into your 401k and all those other things or whatever, you know. But guys, one of Warren Buffett's famous phrases is that when everyone is running to the market, become afraid, right? But when everyone is running away from the market, be brave and invest. Because the ones that are running away don't have much knowledge up here because they want that fast money. When you invest for the long haul. You don't invest for quick, fast cash. That's a new way of doing things. You got to keep it old school. All right? Now, and just to put some more emphasis on that, it doesn't have to necessarily be just a stock market. It could be anything. You can invest in yourself. You can invest in certain projects, something that you know that you can, hey, I want to take some cookies and take them to the farmer's market or whatever, something small. Just invest. Learn how to make money multiply. Don't just get a paycheck and say, well, I only have about $500 left on my paycheck. Grow that. Grow it into $1,500. You know? All right. Fourth cure is to guard thy treasures from loss. And what this basically means is don't invest in something that you don't know nothing about. Don't invest in Brazilian corn. You don't know anything about Brazilian corn. Don't let some guy come up to you that you don't even know and say, hey, I got this thing going on. You give me $1,000. I'll give you $10,000 back in 6 months. Don't do it. If you don't know anything about it, if you haven't done your research, if you haven't read up on it, don't do it. Simple as that. Because you're taking a big risk. Take educated risk. Because this is what the successful people do. They take educated risks. They look at the ins and outs, then they make the decision. All right? Let's go to the next one. Fifth cure. Make thy dwelling a profitable investment. Now, what does that mean? Get a house. But hold on. Before you get a house, like I say, what my philosophy is, make sure you're debt-free. Make sure you have 6 months of expenses in your bank account. And make sure you put at least 20% down. Or either 50%. If you don't fall in those 3 categories, you don't need to be in a house right now. Because guess what? You probably can't afford it. You're probably house poor. And this is the reason why you can't save much. Because you're hoping that, hey, the refrigerator just went out. The dishwasher just went out. And if you can't afford to take care of that problem immediately, you probably can't afford your house. Your house doesn't feel like a home. It's stressful when you get in. You're supposed to lay back and relax, watch TV and cable or whatever when you get into a home. If you don't have that feeling, you move too fast. And if you're not in the house yet, don't rush. Take care of those things first. All right? Now we're going to move on to the 6th cure, and that's ensure a future income. For all you partiers out there, VIP and all of these other things, and the Mercedes drivers, and you're in your 30s and you don't have what my grandma used to say, a pot to piss in, okay? Slow down. Because guess what? You're going to be older one day. I have people I've heard to say, hey, you only live once. So you can't take the money with you when you die, so you might as well spend it now. So guess what, Sherlock? Let's say, for instance, you get around 50, whatever, or older guy. No, I'd say 60, whatever, older, and you become ill. And you haven't made it to retirement yet, and you have a gap. And in all your life, you just kind of blew it away. You drove fine cars. You were something you weren't in front of your friends. Your friends said, well, he's rich, when you really weren't. All these other things that happen. And then all of a sudden, when you get older, you don't have anything. You have to rely on Social Security. Say this president or that president is a scumbag because he squandered away all the Social Security. Guess what? You should have been thinking about that when you were in your 20s. Because guess what? If you did, when you got that age, you wouldn't have to worry about this little poor man system called Social Security. Think about it. All right, and the last one is increased the ability to earn. Increase the ability to earn. And what that basically means is, if you're in a field that you love, not a job, listen to what I'm saying. If you're in a field that you love doing, become an expert at it. Some people of knowledge have said that it takes 10 years to become an expert. 4 hours a day, 10 years. If you really love a subject or love a career, become an expert and become the best you can be. Because guess what? When you become the best you can be, you would get paid for the best. See, now some of you say, well, not in this time because there are guys who have doctorate degrees that have been fired. But guess what? Doctorate degree, expert, you can do something else. If you're an expert at something, if somebody paid you for what you knew and what you did, you still have enough knowledge to go off and do your own thing. Because you're an expert. Just as simple as that. So don't waste time. Because a lot of people that are complaining now don't have a bachelor's degree, don't have a master's degree, don't have any certificates. They don't know anything. They're not masters in their career, and they're not trying to become masters. So you can only blame yourself. You know, just think about it. Most of the people that are complaining are people who haven't excelled. And stay away from all those complaints, because you just heard the 7 cures that I just said. And if you don't follow in, if you don't see that these things aren't applying to you, what I just said, this is probably why you're poor. Think about it. You are probably poor because you haven't practiced these things. So for once, be positive and see what positive things happens in your life. If you're negative, negative things are going to happen because you're not leaving room for the positive to come in. So, I'm going to sign off. Until next time, stay wealthy.